We have the train operators and we have cleaners on the platform that are constantly assaulted verbally, physically. There's not much that happens. It gets reported. Police come, and by that time, usually the criminal's gone. When we have criminal activity on the train, it goes on all night. We have went deaf ears pleading over the last couple of years for management, safety department, grievances, safety reports, begging people to please listen to us and help us with our safety. I've got operators that are scared to come to work. They're wondering if they're going to make it home. We've had murders on the platform. We've had murders on our train. We've had rapes, numerous rapes. At any given night, there are in excess of 100 people riding the train. Half of them aren't fully clothed. They're drinking. They're doing drugs, sexual activity, urinating, defecating on the train. When we call this in, we're lucky if police meet up with us. It's never hold your train and wait, which is what should be done. Instead, police will meet up with you somewhere along the line. Morning rush hour folks, standing room only on the train, they have to witness this type of behavior and deal with it. The train smells so bad. I've had operators had their jobs threatened. You would think that if we're in a cab with the door closed that we're not subject to any of this behavior, we don't have any of the smells, but our air system comes from the passenger compartment. And if you try opening a window, there's a vacuum system that it's even worse. So we've had an operator or two had to go to the hospital because of the drug usage on the train, the smells on the train, and he had to have some medication. He asked if he could wear a mask. Management actually threatened to send him back to the bus, said that he was not qualified to drive the train if he cannot handle these smells from all different types of drugs coming into his cab. So he's had his job threatened. At night, we have to clear our train, get everyone off. You can't pull them into the yard for the trains to be serviced and cleaned with people on the train. Most people are passed out, sleeping. There are people that are awake that refuse to get off the train. Police come. It could take 20 minutes. I've seen it take an hour and a half before police come. The train is just parked at Cedar Riverside waiting for the police to come. When police do kick them off the train, I've had operators that get berated by the police. Why don't you make an announcement? They get off for me. But we actually get cussed at. We get threatened. Going to the tail track. It's part of the track that's by Haywood Towers in downtown. We actually have operators that when the train pulls in, you have to get out and go to the other end to operate the train. There are people partying, doing drugs. Do not listen to announcements from operators to get off the train. That is a restricted area. I have asked for the police when I leave the Mall of America, which is approximately 45 minutes before you get to Target Field. I've asked, please have the police meet me at Target Field. The answer is no. They're out on another call. You need to try to sweep your train. You need to switch ends. While all these people, if they're sleeping, I personally don't have a problem. But when they're awake and they refuse to get off the train, they're doing drugs, they're partying, they're hanging out, operators have to walk through this in a dark area where no one can get to them by vehicle. You would have to walk down there. Police need to be there either on every train for a while until this criminal activity ends, and they need to be at Target Field to either clear the train out before it goes into the tail track, or they need to escort the operator. We have several operators that are scared. Like I said, one operator had called the other night at the at the airport doing the shuttle. Individual that was drunk or on something was chasing him around and taking his shoes and his clothing off and throwing them at the operator. The operator manages to get into the cab, locks the door, and calls Control Center, RCC, and asks them if they could send the police. Police were going to be delayed because this is at Terminal 1. And so he asked if he could shut the doors because he was scared and depart the terminal a couple minutes early. RCC supervisor told him, no, you need to stay there and wait. And so obviously brings up concern, are we more worried about a schedule or safety of people's lives? Just because this is an operator doesn't mean it's any less important than the public. Why can't we do something? I understand that it's cold outside and that homeless don't have a place to go. I get that. And this is not what this is about. It's about the criminal activity. Met Council has their hands in housing. Why can't you do something to have housing for the people that ride the train? Is it because there's no money that you'll get out of that? I don't understand why it's okay to have hundreds of people laying around on the train, sleeping, doing whatever they want, and it's okay. People come into the Twin Cities and they want to use the transit system. This is welcome to the Twin Cities. Come on here and look at these dirty needles, crack pipes, half-naked people laying all over. It's a mess. There's nowhere to sit. It's embarrassing. I love driving the train. I love my job. I've been in transportation for almost 18 years, and I've been a rail operator for a little over 6. I love it. But it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to have this go on. I've had a man that was passed out with his penis in his hand at the Mall of America in morning rush hour. And I've called RCC, Rail Control Center, to tell them. They said the police will meet up. Morning rush hour, by the time I hit American Avenue station, the train is standing room only by people just like yourselves trying to come to work. Use the system for what it's made for and come to work. And they have to look at this man's penis while they're coming to work. A lot of people bring their children. They have daycare downtown or somewhere along the rail, and this is what their kids have to see. I am embarrassed, and I'm sorry, but Met Council should be ashamed. This is humiliating.